And we are live. What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News. I do apologize about the attempted stream before. I was having technical difficulties. Shouts out to everybody that comes on the chat. Number one, tell me where you're from. We got to discuss this briefly. I did discuss it briefly last night before passing out. But yeah, it was a long day. So you guys tell me where you were. We got to talk about this, get it out the way. I know it's a sensitive topic, but it has to be done. It was a very tactless thing by a particular reporter, and she's getting roasted for it. Something she said, and she had no business saying that. You know, ABZ UK, yo, my man, how are you? All good? Everything's good, brother. A little bit under the weather, but I'm doing good. I'm drinking orange juice, lots of fluids. Knockout King, hey bro, what's up? Shouts out from Scottish guy in Texas. Shouts out to you, man. I'm in Texas also. It's ABZ UK, bro. Okay, ABZ. Okay, my fault. My fault. Counterpunch to you. I stand counterpunched. Andy Clift, morning, evening, folks. What's up, Andy? Counterpunch to you guys. Guys, load the chat. Okay, cool. No, say it like abs. Oh, okay. Abs UK. Cool. Instead of ABZ. Get it. Got it. Done. Abs UK. What's going on in the UK? Shouts out to you guys. Moyo Sauce. What's up? What's up? I'm gonna let it load a little bit. Um, we unfortunately we have to acknowledge Kobe Bryant, Kobe Bean Bryant, him and his daughter, along with seven other people. Okay, they crashed in a helicopter crash. I know it's late, abs. I know it's late. It's 9:27 over here, but I gotta counterpunch something, and I gotta do it the right way. I can't do it when I'm all tired and exhausted and all that. I have to do it when I'm at myself. And the thing is, this lady, she said a word, obviously, that she didn't intend to say. Okay, there's no denying that she didn't intend to say what she said, but the problem is she did say it, and you wonder why she said it at a particular time. She said it while she was explaining, new man, take your time. When she was explaining the whereabouts or where Kobe Bryant was going. Kobe Bryant is, of course, everyone knows. If you don't know, Kobe Bryant is an NBA, retired NBA player, Hall of Fame player, Hall of Fame, MVP player, right? Is one of the best, is renowned as one of the best, players that we had in the last ever, okay, in the history of the of American basketball or the NBA, okay. Now she really wanted to say it, and it just came out. Now, see, Abs UK. Here's the thing. She said it subconsciously. There's no doubt about it, and it was from association. So the question you ask yourself, okay, let me look this up, okay.
Star that was perfectly cast on the Los Angeles Lakers. Kavita, if I could ask you.
See, here's the problem with that.
Perfectly cast on the Los Angeles Lakers. Kavita, if I could ask you. A star that was perfectly cast on the Los Angeles.
See, here's the thing. I listened to this because I believe in giving people the benefit of the doubt, but then first of all, what was you thinking? What was you thinking when you were talking about what was going on? Yes, this was a very unfortunate incident, right? And like you Nakers, okay, Nakers, Lakers, Knicks. She said Knicks. What the fuck does the Knicks have to do with Kobe Bryant? He never played for the Knicks at all. What does N end up? What is the N letter? What the fuck does that have to do with what we were doing? It has nothing to do with what we were supposed to have been talking about. She's supposed to have been talking about it crashed, and an important person was on that helicopter, along with a portion of that important person's family, along with other people, right? And where they were going, their whereabouts. Okay, they were on their way to this convention. Now, listen.
Like, if I ask you to a star that was perfectly cast on the Los Angeles Lakers.
And here's the problem. It was like, why did she, if you notice, she paused before she dropped that N word. She dropped the N, but listen to it again. Look.
Los Angeles Lakers. Kavita, if I could ask you to sign a star that was perfectly cast on the Los Angeles Lakers.
You see what I mean? She paused before she said that shit. Normally, when you pause, you take a time to process what the fuck you're going to say on TV or to anyone. If you're talking to someone, like I'll be making videos and then I think, because I'm processing what I want to say. You see what I'm saying? That's crazy. You know, he had absolutely, exactly, Big D's. He had nothing to do with the Knicks to be bringing them into the conversation. That was in her subconscious. She used that as a piss poor excuse because she knew what she was doing. She knew what she said, and she tried to cover it up with that bullshit excuse. Come on, fess up to it. But she knew if she fessed up to it, people, she would have to explain something else, because it opens up a whole nother can of worms on why you felt and why you were talking about niggers associated with NBA basketball players. And it's sad to say that people outside of the realm, outside of the demographic, would view these guys, these talented men, in a sport that I used to watch. I used to watch a lot of NBA, James Worthy, Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan, all these, when those guys played, okay? Now, a lot of these people, of course, like I'm saying, outside the demographic of the people that watch NBA, would see that as, okay, look at those over there. You know what I mean? And this is the prime example of what she was thinking, what was going through her mind as she was reporting the news. Listen.
A star that was perfectly cast on the Los Angeles Lakers.
And she, the problem that get me, it would be more believable if she was just talking and rambling and talking fast and trying to get something out due to the emotional or what was going through her mind. This, obviously, if you notice about this reporter, this did not rattle her one bit. You can tell, okay, Stephen A. Smith, he was damn near in tears. Why? Because he identified, he empathized with that sport, because he followed that sport. He actually liked that sport. Okay? So it's like, yes, it was a vested interest. It was that he could identify, this is Kobe Bryant. I interviewed this man many times. This lady right here has not. This lady was just doing a fucking job, reporting it like she knew to do, like she's paid to do. She had no vested interest. She had no familiarity with Kobe Bryant, as you can tell. You know what I mean? Because it was like the first thing that hit me. I had just drove back from Oklahoma because I came from a funeral. And it's funny, I had this weird dream that my father got in a plane wreck, in a plane accident. It was weird. I had this jacked up dream. And that, because on the way from Oklahoma, I stopped and I slept for a couple hours, right? And I had that dream. Now, the thing is, I had that dream. I was, driving back, and I was laid down, and I was just about to lay down, just shut it down, and you're in bed, you're fucking web surfing, you know what I mean, and then this pops up, right? Yeah, yeah. Abs UK, she was like it was just a normal fucking report to her. You know what I mean? New man, absolutely. You're deliberate in the words you choose, in your choice and delivery. She paused before she said it. But anyway, I seen Kobe Bryant dies. What the fuck? And I'm first thing I thought, because I think I seen it the first time was on TMZ, and I was like, oh, TMZ, fuck that. So I went to Google and I Googled it, and I was like, okay, what the fuck? And every source said the same thing. I'm like, oh fuck. And the first thing I check honestly is the Wikipedia, because Wikipedia also shows like is or was. That's a big difference. Like Kobe Bryant was, and then you see like the year and all that, and born 1978. No, this shit had parentheses to parentheses, which is never a good thing because that means someone has been deceased. Which so I got out of bed. I'm like, no fucking way. So I got out of bed and I went to this bar. And I was just kind of processing, like, damn, this is jacked up, and I'm watching it on TV because it's a sports bar. So I'm watching it on TV and things like that. And then later on, the pictures of the helicopter flying and shit. And that's a whole different situation. Okay. And why it was approved to land. But anyway, back to this idiot. Again,
Perfectly cast on the Los Angeles Lakers. Kavita, if I
you
could
know,
ask you
because it's like
star that was
it's like, did she deliberately say that shit, people? You know, it's crazy. With a retired TWA employee who was near the scene, a pretty good account of the copter pauses above his area and then moving forward to the mountains in the background. Yeah. Knockout King. I got the message from BBC News flash up on my phone as the story broke. My Dallas born wife couldn't believe it. Yeah, it fucking sucked. You know, I remember when I was like 19, yeah, I was 19 years of age, and JFK Jr., his plane went down, and that was like a big deal back in the day. And I was just a different person then, you know what I mean? Um, Now that's funny. I really didn't follow basketball at that time. Again, I watched basketball late 80s, early 90s, when the Lakers played Boston Celtics, with Larry Bird and Magic Johnson and their rivalry and shit like that. That's when I was really big on it, James Worthy, and you know what I mean? To have the fucking socks that went up there with the loops around it, you know what I mean? Like that's when I watched the boxing. That's when Lakers, that's when that shit. But then I did know and was aware, like, dude, Kobe is the real fucking deal. Kobe Bryant, Shaq. Remember that crew, And it was almost, you could feel the emotion that other people had, explaining like what this guy meant to them. So it was heartfelt. And the thing is, this interview spat on that tragedy. Yeah, it's fucked up. But then again, here's the thing. Moyo sauce. Check this out. If you didn't care about a particular sport or a particular group of people and you looked at them in a certain way, that's how you're thinking anyway. Oh, he just died. Yeah, look at just another one, right? Another one died. Whatever, I'm just doing this. But then your subconscious, you can't fake your subconscious because that's something that is going. Oh, it's turning in your head, right? Like it's turning like honeycombs in your head. And that word came out because that's the word she was thinking. That's what she associated herself with, how she viewed a certain group of people, and it's bad and it's unfortunate, And then I would say this. The question is, we've counterpunched what she said, what she tried to cover up. And then look, read this shit. Here's the problem. Here's the thing. She tried to say that what is this? What did she say? um Here's the thing. She says earlier today, while reporting on the tragic news of Kobe Bryant's passing, I unfortunately stuttered on air. Stop right fucking there. Stop. First of all, there was no fucking stuttering until after she said what she said. Let's go back.
Perfectly cast on the Los Angeles Lakers. Kavita, if I can.
Where the fuck was it? Did you guys hear a stutter? Did I hear a stutter? Oh yeah, this bitch is getting counterpunched because she's like, Now let's look at it like this. She said, "Oh, unfortunately, I stuttered. Didn't hear a stutter. I heard a person that was very articulate. I heard a person that was talking with a certain pitch, right? Certainly heard her speed up after it came out. Yeah. She stuttered after she said what she wanted to say, and now she regrets saying it because she knows fuck. I just said nigger on fucking TV. You know what I mean? So it's crazy. And it's like, but here's the thing. Sometimes the look, what's in the dark will come to the light, and this person is low on the totem pole. But this is an example how this could happen to other people. Like these are subliminal messages. This is actually blatant. America can never stop being racist. Don't even try. It don't matter. It does not matter. What matters is I'm not a person pretending this shit doesn't exist. I don't shoot it and throw it down people's throat like some people do because they're angry or mad or whatever. I know it exists. I'm not turning a blind eye. None of that bullshit. No, it exists because you're a fool if you think it doesn't exist. Okay? WSA when Trump got elected, Abs UK. And it's funny, I was actually about to mention Trump for a second. Well, things of that nature, when people show you certain things, shithouse countries in Africa, wow. But it's sad to disrespect a man in his death. Look, but even Trump didn't do this. You know what I mean? Okay, and here's the thing: even if Trump would have dropped the N word, the N bomb, yes, a lot of people would have been furious. But would that really be too far off the beaten path with Trump? You know what I mean? That's Trump. Trump says what the fuck he wants to say. This reporter is paid not to say certain things like that on fucking TV. You know what I mean? Okay, she mixed up the Lakers, Nuggets, Knicks. She's just a closet racist like a lot of people. She should just own it. Just own it. Just be real with it. It's funny. I keep hearing that song. Just be a man about it. No, just be a something else about it. I think who they are promoting at the Grammys. Counterpunch boxing, basketball. You know what? We're counterpunching. This is a counterpunch. This is this is a boxing channel, Lisa Bell's. It absolutely is. But this is world news. Things like this happen in the sport. Certain times, certain things reach out the out the realm of certain entities, such as boxing, right? So this isn't an exception, in other words. Now, we know this lady didn't stutter. Let me finish the rest of what she said. She said she stuttered on air. We counterpunched that. Boom. Combining the names of Knicks and the Lakers. Okay. Knicks, he never played for the Knicks. Where the Knicks come from. Knicks. Okay. Whatever. Saying Nakers. Okay. I did not and would never use a racist term. I apologize for the confusion this caused. You already did use a racist term. But I apologize for the confusion. Apologies when someone says, hey, I apologize. That's not really saying you're sorry, is it? It's just saying I apologize. That's like that thing to say because you don't want to say what you should say. We all humans to me, one race, different shades of skin. I know, right, Andy? That's it. Can't blame everything on Trump. Nope, didn't blame this. Trump had nothing to do with this at all. Word of the day. And that is a word of the day, too. Trump didn't have shit to do with this, you know? Well, not this particular situation. You know, this is a lady that just came out of the dark. Now, here's the question you ask yourself. It's so funny. I was watching Dave Chappelle. I don't know if you guys are a fan of Dave Chappelle, but he did the Dave Chappelle. He did the Dave Chappelle show, of course. Confusion, yeah, I know, right? I apologize for the confusion. Not what I thought that a millions of ethnic group or millions of a certain people thought I said on TV, which I fucking said. But I'm just sorry for the confusion. Anyway, Dave Chappelle, right? So listen to Dave Chappelle, and then you know his what 2 seasons? He only had 2 seasons, but it was like some funny, very in your face, very controversial, very touchy skits that he made about race and people, right? Because his idea of people are different, but no one's better than each other, so let's make fun of everybody, and that's what he did. I watched the Dave Chappelle. So yeah, first time it was good. First time I watched him, Andy Cliff. Yeah, he's funny. He has his own niche. He has his own style, and he was explaining, and it's called Sticks and Stones, I believe it was. And in Sticks and Stones, he was explaining that it was a lady that it was boarding procedures or something like that, which you have to go to that lady, and then she has to counterpunch what you said and what you can't say. Like, hey, you said this, you know. So, and she said, well, hey, you shouldn't say the word faggot on TV. And it was like, okay, I didn't know it offended a lot of people, which it does. So that's why she told him. So he was like, cool, that's fine. So he starts to walk out. Then he stops. I guess something hit him at the last minute. He was like, well, wait a minute. You have no problem with me saying nigger, but I can't say faggot on TV. Well, Dave Chappelle, you're not gay. And he was like, okay, well, I'm not a nigger either. You know what I mean? So this is my question. It's people turn a blind eye to this, which a lot of people are furious. But here's the thing. What if this lady what if Kobe Bryant was Dennis Rodman? Okay. Dennis Rodman, what if this, Dennis Rodman is he people question his sexuality. He's like bisexual, whatever, and a lot of people just call him gay. What if that was Dennis Rodman? And Dennis Rodman was in that helicopter and it crashed, and his family and his daughter and whatever, he was killed. And she made that same thing. She was talking about, oh yeah, yeah, he was earlier today on a faggots convention. I mean, you know what I mean? You know what would have happened? This would have been totally different. This would have been a totally different situation. The outcome would have been, I don't even really know what the outcome is. You know what I mean? So it was like, if she would have said faggot instead of, hey, nigger, I think what it is, society is more sensitive to certain topics at certain times than certain things. Because even in comments, oh, he said nigger, so what? I mean, you're a reporter. Due to the circumstance, it's like someone died, for Christ's sake. You know what I mean? And then you refer that dead man and his people in this derogatory sense. That's sad, and it just seems to me like people now, I feel, are more sensitive towards certain things that are popular to be sensitive. You see what I'm saying? It's crazy. It's popular. It's not popular. You cannot say faggot. But, if this lady, what's her name? Allison Morris. If Allison Morris, if Allison Morris doesn't get fired, if she does not get fired, and I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this, that's just showing that people are sensitive and they're turning the blind eye to these type of things. She should be fired. If they can fire other people for doing this, they should fire her. They should make an example of her, because she shouldn't have never allowed that word to say and to spew out of her mouth. And anybody saying, we've heard this shit many times. Let's listen to it again. Let's hear it again, people.
Perfectly cast on the Los Angeles Lakers. Kavita, if I could ask you to sign a star that was perfectly cast on the Los Angeles Lakers. Kavita, if I could ask you to.
And it tells you something else. She uses that word a lot. Boxing Monster, she uses that word a lot to say it in that way. That flowed off her tongue. I do it all the time. I'll be talking about one fighter and say another fighter's name. Why? Because I've exercised that again and again. I might be talking about Marcos Maidana El Chino. I might say Canelo by accident. Why? Because Canelo is talked about on this channel, because this is a boxing channel. Canelo Alvarez is a boxer, right? So I say that a lot. Those are words you pronounce and you rehearse. That's therefore you'll end up saying something, especially if you're thinking about something and then you say it. Boom, that happens all the time. This is what she was thinking about. Also, it was showing that she practiced this word a lot. Now, another question you ask yourself, damn, does she have kids? Does she practice this shit at night to her children? She said, yep, 2 syllables. Absolutely. And she said it articulate. You know what I mean? I was watching The Breakfast Club and they had that shit and they hyphened that actual word, and it was just fresh. It was no stuttering. There was no hesitant. It was crystal clear what she said. She just said it, and it was almost like perfectly cast on the niggers of the Lakers. Dude, Lakers, come on, stop. She should have just said, fuck it, I'm sorry. Here's my resignation. I'm sorry. I'm a racist. I say it all the time. Fuck it, I know. So what? I said it. Boom. Abs UK, you have a good night. Yeah, she uses it a lot, Andy. She uses that word a lot. She has to. You know? You know what I mean? It's almost like, okay, let me give you a prime example. You're getting out of your bed to use the restroom at night, right? You bump your pinky toe. Everybody knows how bad it is to bump your pinky toe, and that shit hurts. You hit it on the edge of the bed. You're hurting. What's the first thing you say? Shit. Fuck, mother, son of a, right? Oh, right? Those are words that you already know that you say off a reflex or a repeated pattern. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. You know what I mean? Sounded like she was trying to say mix up between Knickers and Lakers. Knickers. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Tell me when the Knicks get brought up again from her saying anything about the Knicks. And it's bad though. It's bad. But no, she should be fired, and that should be a lesson to learn. First of all, if you have a job like that, you have to be very careful on how you live your personal life and what you say in your personal life, because a lot of times Your personal life can spew into your professional one, and this is a result of that. This bitch could have been Mark Furman, for Christ's sake. We know nothing of her. She could be a white supremacist. We don't know. We have no idea anything about Allison Morris. You know what I mean? So I mean, but that's just it does remind me of Mark Furman. And you guys have, if you guys haven't checked out the People versus O.J. Simpson, that's some real touchy gritty shit, and it brought back nostalgic memories. Hell yeah, Nazi C stands. Maybe so. You don't know. If you look at her, the way she looks, you can't say she don't look like a damn Nazi. You know what I mean? And it's just like it shit. She fits the bill. I mean, a lot of people aren't dumb rednecks that'll sit out and wave flags and jump on gays and beat up people of color all the time. No, they actually have jobs and careers, just like this lady has. Needed a new drink. Knockout King. Yeah, I know, right? How many races greet themselves with the derogatory racist terms? I haven't seen it. Ugh, I don't know. But then here's the thing: a lot of people use that word that are not black either, like other ethnic groups. So it is a word they use, but they use it to each other as an understood thing. This is totally different from that. You know what I mean? This lady doesn't see another white person and says, "Hey, nigger, how are you?" You know what I mean? Two totally different things. No, two totally different things. You know? Exactly, Austin. If this was a Jewish community or LGBT, you know what community, her ass would have been people outside her house right now. Right now, she would have been fired last fucking week. She'd have been fired Sunday. Baby, we need you to get your shit. You cannot say faggot on TV and you have blew your career. You'll never work in this town again. Counterpunch. Counterpunch to Austin GT. Because that's the truth. Absolutely. Well, Johnny Boy, look, he's a white Italian. Okay, well, all right, white Italian, black Italian, but I mean, he's Italian though. Like, have you seen an Italian mafia movie? You know what I mean? That's a look. That's an Italian. That's a totally different situation. You're trying to compare someone that you know personally to someone that speaks to the public. That's the difference. In this person that thinks and says the things that she says shouldn't be speaking or have a position to do what she did. That's why she should be fired. And that's my counterpunch on that. That's what I feel. I think there should be a zero tolerance for these type of things. You know what they do in Brazil if you use the word that is which I will not repeat down there. It's a different term, but it is the same meaning. If you use that word, you can go to jail for 2 fucking years. Mm. Now imagine that was implemented up here. Now imagine if that was even introduced here. Imagine if rebel flags were illegal and couldn't be worn. Imagine that. Certain things I think about. But anyway, no, our Allison Morris, she showed her true colors. And because she did, unfortunately, we know them. She regrets saying them, I'm sure, but we've heard them. We can't unhear what she said. So, by default, absolutely C stance. By default, she should go and look for unemployment because she shouldn't be employed anywhere. She shouldn't be employed anywhere. I'm sorry. I mean, she should lose that job. I mean, she has to work, make a living or whatnot, but like in that particular field, you know, maybe she should do the thing that if she is a Nazi, maybe she could join a concentration camp in Canada somewhere or some butt fuck or Iowa or wherever you're at or wherever she can find work and help her, embrace her, hatred for a certain ethnic group of people. You know, The new toxic feminist is a shocking state of affairs. I agree. Yeah, I see these people that claim that others are racist are the same people that are the first to be racist. Yeah, that's true. It's almost like Chris Aponte. It's almost like the people will call you claiming to be from Apple or Dell or some shit, and they're actually trying to say, "Hey, we're trying to get you, we're trying to give you antivirus," but they're actually giving you the fucking virus, and then you got to pay somebody to get the shit off. It's like that almost, you know. So it's crazy. It's crazy. But anyway, I had to counterpunch that, everyone. Uh, so I think she should be fired, and anyone that does the same thing, regardless of what color you are and what you look like or whatever, should be fired also. It isn't the first time that it happened in America, so she should be another example of that. That you shouldn't fuck around with saying certain things like that. That's my counterpunch on that. But the end with a good note, something that does have something to do with boxing. I was able to listen to a interview that Ludabella had to talk about, where his separation from Deontay Wilder, and he was explaining he doesn't work with Deontay Wilder no more because Knockout Kings, be safe. Got to remake my channel and upload my fights again. Take it easy. Knockout Kings, man, let me know when you do. I'll subscribe. Send me a link when you do. I love to see old clips of fights. You know, make sure they're good ones, classic ones. I'll do some counter punching on it. You know what I mean? But anyhow, it was very interesting to hear him say these things about Wilder and what happened in the zone deal and why he doesn't work with Deontay Wilder. Yeah. Yeah. You know, you got to talk about it though, because you can't like, this is not a LDBC channel, but you know, there are reasons why those channels exist, because shit like that, people like fucking Allison Morris is the reason why LDBC channels exist to this day. That's why. You know, he confirms it all, confirms $100 million offer from the zone. Actually, I got to do some. I just dropped a video about that, and let's see. Damn. That's weird. But yeah, he confirmed like all he did was do the best he could do for Wilder. Um, you know, by getting him the deal. Like, what the hell was wrong with that? What's wrong with, you know? So it was a good topic, but I think Ludabella is a good guy, you know. And sometimes when you're old school like Ludabella and you want to see the right fights, the best fights, the fights that fans want to see, you run into bullshit from people that don't care shit about boxing and don't want to see the best fights. Let's just be real. Let's be honestly and perfectly clear about that. They don't want to see the best fight the best. They want to see, um, a lot of people are in the game, are in the business for another agenda. You know, they're in it for network worshipers, worshiping certain networks and, you know, things of that net, which is stupid as fuck. What does that have to do with boxing? It has nothing to do with boxing. None of that does. You know. So it's just crazy. Clearly has to got his mind on. He has not got a mind of his own. No, he doesn't. It doesn't cost them money with that meeting because they now have to pay Wilder to stay. Well, they paid Wilder to stay. That's the point, Antonio. It ain't they have to pay him. They paid him. They paid him $20 million because he was going to get he was going to receive that fight that he was already scheduled to fight because it was mandatory. $20 million. And what happened, they had to fork over that money to Wilder to prove his loyalty to Showtime, and they had to pay him. And when he didn't fork out the numbers that they invested in keeping him at Showtime, they dropped his ass. They dropped him just like that. Now he's on PBC and Fox for the next two shows. And that's the shows that he already in advance, right my wrong, right? Those shows are the shows that Showtime didn't even finance. Make that shit make sense. Hmm. So it was crazy. It was absolutely crazy, man. So no, but I broke it down. You guys need to check that out. Greetings from Malaysia, Johnny Best. Ian Duro. Is Wilder naive or stupid or a bit of both? But a little bit of both. I mean, you to be naive is kind of a nice way of saying stupid. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Like Antonio, yeah, both. Naive is like you don't know, but you're kind of naive is actually dumb. Honestly, it's because it's something you lack. Like, oh no. So it's kind of like in a borderline of dumb and ignorant, naive, because it's something that you should have known, but you weren't thinking because that instinct that you have, that sixth sense, that discernment, you don't have. So it is what it is. Wilder's team to me are just making money of him on the belt. Yeah, they making little crumbs. So they used to making crumbs, but so is Deontay Wilder used to making crumbs. So, but anyway, that's to wrap it up with you guys. I'm glad you guys came on the chat. I'm getting tired myself. I'm about to shut it down. It would be like the Abs UK. So everyone on the chat, Austin CT, Andy Cliff, Antonio Matthews, Ian Duro, Johnny Best, all you guys on the chat. Thank you guys for coming on. And all of you have been counterpunched. Peace.